Hey, it's Maren with Art and Soul Dances Q&A. I'm super excited about today's Q&A. I read one of our Dare to Dance Facebook posts. That was a great question. It was something along the lines of why do you think we're such a happy group of people, us dancers? And the responses in the group got me thinking, and so I decided I had to do some research. So you guys are the beneficiaries of my research. So there are four very cool main hormones that are responsible for happiness in our systems. And they are dopamine, serotonin, endorphin, and oxytocin. Almost everything that makes us feel happy has to do with one of those hormones. And the thing about dancing is that all four of them are closely related with dancing. So it makes sense that those of us that dance are kind of a happy group of people. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into them though, so we're going to find out more about each of these. So dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good neurotransmitter. That's what it's known as. It shuttles between nerve cells and brings messages. It's used by the nervous system. It plays a role in how we feel pleasure, and it helps us to strive and focus. It's big in our thinking and our planning, and it helps us to stay motivated, essentially. So when you set a goal, dopamine is released. And then every time you make a step towards that goal, dopamine is also released. So it helps us to stay motivated. Like I said, it also is released once we reach the goal. So it's very much that planning, thinking, moving towards something. And as dancers, we set our goals and we are always moving towards something. It's important though, if you use the information to help you to stay happier, right? Try and set short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. So something about today, something for, 3 months from today, and something for a year or 5 years from today. So that when you got blocked or stuck someplace, say, for example, I didn't make my goals for today. Okay, no big deal. I still have next month or 3 months from now, those goals, and I still have my 5-year goals, and something else might move me towards those. Or if I got blocked on something for my 3-month goals, etc., right? Or like I reached my goal for today. If I only have short-term goals, then I reach my goal for today, and then what do? I want to have the next layer, the next layer, the next layer. That really helps with the ongoing dopamine production. Plus, you want to build those habits, right? What a great thing to have a habit that also produces, dopamine and happiness inside of you. So that was the first one. All right, so the second one is serotonin. Serotonin is also a neurotransmitter. It affects our moods and it helps to regulate other functions like digestion, sleep, and bone health. When it comes to how you feel every day and your happiness levels, serotonin is the thing that's vital for reducing depression and regulating anxiety. So it is triggered by confidence. The important thing is, how do we regulate confidence? That's kind of a almost a catch-22, right? That it's released when I feel confident, and yet there's so many things in life that can cause us to take a hit in our confidence. So what do we do with that? As I was thinking about it, as dancers, we actually, as anybody in life, we have a choice to either focus on what's not working or to focus on what is working. And they've done studies that show that when you focus on what's working and you make it better. So if I take something that I'm bad at and I work really, 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 really hard at it, I might get to be average at it. Yet if I take something that I'm good at and I work really, really, really hard at it, I can get to be great at it. And I would much rather be great at something than average at something. So when I've worked through on my dancing, the way that I work through things is that I always work at what I'm good at first. And I realize that this whole serotonin thing, it builds my confidence. I get great at something, and it just is this self-fulfilling loop of good feelings about it, doing it more, etc., etc. Then I have the motivation. Then I have that buildup of confidence and energy to go back and work on some of the things that I'm not so good at. And trust me, there are those things. It's just, what is it I choose to focus on? I always look for what's the best. How do I make this better? Instead of what's the worst, what am I not good at? Right? And then it helps me to find much easier ways to get better at things that I'm not so good at. So there's your managing your confidence. Our third one is called oxytocin. It's often described as the love hormone. It's associated with how people bond and trust each other, and certain activities like kissing, hugging, and physical intimacy trigger the release of oxytocin. All right, so now we're talking about dancing with another human being. So we're in close proximity with them. We're touching. Oxytocin gets released. So you've got the physical touch, and there's also elements of trust. And you're working towards a goal, a common goal. So the two of you are working together to create movement. Here's my favorite thing about partner dancing is I get to walk on a dance floor and have a full conversation with somebody for 3 minutes that's completely nonverbal. And oftentimes I don't even know the person, or I just met them. And yet we have this common language that we can have this conversation, and we've built trust. The trust is inherent in what we're doing. So we're already releasing the oxytocin. In addition to that, we have this common goal of moving to the music together. So now there's dopamine that's being released as well. And it's just such an amazing feeling. And now I'm starting, like I said, starting to understand why. Because I just keep releasing good hormones for all the things that I'm doing as a dancer. And it's so cool. Fourth on our list, endorphins. They are related to physical activity. You've heard of a runner's high, right? So they were actually created by nature for survival. Say there's an injured rabbit that's trying to get away from a fox. The endorphins will kick in to allow the rabbit to get away and not feel pain. So they are meant to reduce pain and maximize pleasure. And like I said, they were meant for survival. So the author of the book, Habits of a Healthy Brain, Loretta Bruning, she puts it like this, and I love this. It helped our ancestors run for help when injured. Endorphins evolved for survival, not partying. If you were high on endorphins all the time, you would touch hot stoves and walk on broken legs. Probably not the best idea. So you don't actually have to injure yourself to enjoy the benefits of endorphins. Please don't. Physical activity, exercise, and dance is a great form of physical activity and exercise. As we've noticed, it also releases the other 3 types of our hormones, our happy hormones. So as you can see, dance is this phenomenal way to get exercise, meet people, have happy hormones released on 4 different levels. I'm super excited to have learned all of this because I know it in my own body because of my experience with dance, but I didn't know it in my brain. And now I can actually do even more with it. And I'll be that nightmare person at the parties saying, "Did you know?" So, did you know? So obviously the benefits of dance are like off the charts, right? So now we know that we not only get physical exercise and we get to meet people and we get social interactions, and it's been the one physical exercise that's proven to reduce the onset of Alzheimer. And now we find out that it releases all 4 of the happy hormones. Are we surprised? Heck no, we dance. So I would love to know some of your experiences with the happy hormones and dancing. If you don't dance yet, maybe you should give it a try. All right, so we would love to answer your questions. Make sure you submit them to us here at Q&A with Heart and Soul Dance. And we will see you next week. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on the dance floor. Catch you soon.